You are listening to the Soulless Minions of Orthodoxy, alternative DVD commentaries. Hello, my name is Josh, and sitting with me in the Soulless Minions studios is my brother Justin. Say hello.
Hello.
Today we're going to be watching the 2014 film Space Station 76, directed by Jack Plotnick. If you're going to watch this movie with us, pop in your DVD and fast forward to 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
13 seconds. Or just before it fades up from black, pause it there. You're going to hear a countdown from me, 3, 2, 1 on pause. When you hear me say on pause, do that with me, and we'll watch the movie in sync. All right.
And we'll do it together.
Get your finger on the remote. 3, 2, 1, unpause. All right, we're opening up on an asteroid field. So this is Space Station 76. This is going to be another one of those movies that's it's very obscure. Not many people have heard of this one. We're opening up with this great little voiceover from Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Kind of foreshadowing the events of the movie in a way. I thought it's very tender. It's very sweet. I like it. Basically comparing herself and everyone on the space station to these asteroids, that we float around each other, but we can never touch each other or connect. They look like they're close in proximity to each other, but they never really
floating near each other
forever, but they never come in contact with each other.
Yeah.
I don't. It's hard for me to talk over this credit sequence because it's so rad.
Well, I'll just finally say what I was going to tell you when we were setting up here. You told me about this movie, right?
Yeah, there's actually a bit of a story to this.
Well, point being.
Well, no, it's a funny story.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell the story. So I had rented this from the Redbox, and I left it on. I stopped by our parents' house. I left it on the counter, and I just forgot to pick it up or something. And I went to work, and I was like, "I'll just watch it when I get home from work." And I get home from work, and it's gone. And I was like, "Where's my movie I was gonna watch?" And then the next day, I was like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, did you see a thing here?" And they're like, "Yeah, Justin took it." I was like, "Why would he take my movie?"
That asshole.
And then I was like, "What's the deal?" And so I called you up. I was like, "Dude, where's my fucking movie?" You're like, I thought you left it there for me." I was like, "Why would I leave you a movie?" It's like, "Well, come on over. We'll watch it." And so you had already watched it, though. And so I came up there and watched it with you.
I did the same day.
It was the same day.
I had watched it and said, "Dude, come here. I will turn around and watch this again."
Yeah.
And so this opening, so now I saw it before you.
Right.
So that opening bit of music with visuals,
yeah,
I had no idea, none, what this movie was. And I hit play. The voiceover was nice, and that was cool. Yeah. But then that song and those visuals kicked in, and I thought, that's it. Sold. I don't care what the rest of this movie is. I'm in. And it really sets up the movie perfectly. The narration and the song,
yeah,
like it's perfect. It was a perfect marriage.
I wholeheartedly agree. See, and I love the cheesy effects as we see that exposition shot.
Are they really that cheesy?
No,
you mean the special effects?
Yeah, no,
I find them really quite good.
No, they are really good. I mean, they're obviously meant to look like of the time, of the 70s.
Well,
is what I mean.
I suppose we should talk about that, the look of the movie.
Let me go into this first.
Okay.
This little aside before we go into that.
With the smoking thing?
No, because it's funny, but we were talking about our first experience with it.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're listening to this commentary and you have not seen this movie yet, and you're interested, do not watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Do not watch the trailer. It will ruin the movie for you. It was marketed in a way that the movie is not. It was marketed as a farce. This movie is not that at all. It's funny. Believe me, it's funny. But
it's not farce comedy.
No, it's a dramedy. And I was listening to somebody talk about this on the interwebs, and they called it the ice storm in space. And I was like, yeah, I think it's better than the ice storm, but I can see what they mean by the ice storm.
Yeah.
But it's a dramedy. It's basically
apples and oranges.
But it's a dramedy. You know what I mean? It's not a farce.
100%.
So 100%. So don't watch that because you'll get a vision in your mind of what it's supposed to be, and
it ruins all the best jokes.
It does, and I went in there and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a send up of 70s space movie. It's going to be Laugh Riot or whatever. And it wasn't that. And so I was completely thrown off. And I didn't really get into the movie the first time I saw it. I just thought it was kind of slow and kind of like, it was all right. It wasn't really about anything.
Yeah.
But over time, I really, really grew this really deep affection for this movie. It is really good. And not so much from watching it, although I've seen it a lot. But you and I like to listen to movies. Yep. This is a hobby a lot of people have. We listen to movies like in the car. We'll take the audio from the DVD, put it on our phones, and we'll listen to things. And this one makes a great listen because it is all dialogue.
Yeah.
And that's why I know this movie so well, from listening to it so much. So there you go. That's my experience. It's one of my favorite movies now. I recommend it whenever I get the chance. And people usually have a good reaction to it.
This is not a middle ground kind of movie. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
Yeah, it's very true.
And you mentioned the 70s, and this movie I think is really the look of this movie is very unique. The creators of the movie describe their aesthetic look to this movie as the future told through the eyes of the 70s. Yeah. And so it doesn't look like a movie made in the 70s. I mean, it kind of does, it just in their clothing styles, but don't expect to see shag carpets and whatever things. It's not that kind of movie.
Well, it's the 70s version of the future.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the kind of movie they would have made in the 70s if they had this script. And it nails this tone that it leads to that thought of you're either going to love it or hate it. It's like this either works for you, it doesn't, or it doesn't. But like I was saying, this movie sold me immediately in the first 5 minutes, and because I had not seen that trailer, I wasn't ruined because I watched the trailer afterwards, and I was like, oh my God, that's not the movie I just saw. It's weird how that works, and thank God I didn't, because I was so eager for you to watch it, and I know your reaction was kind of lukewarm. I mean, you liked it and all, but you didn't love it, and like you said, you came to love it later.
We're talking over all these like great exposition bits.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure you're quite well aware. We should probably point out the reason why this makes such a good audio drama to listen to is because it was a stage play. And
yeah, it was.
A lot of the people involved in the movie, the actors and the people behind the scenes, were involved in the play. They wrote it. Yeah. They did versions of it on stage. So this movie is designed just like Steel Magnolias. That makes a great audio drama because it all takes place in just a couple locations.
Right.
And it's all talky. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. This was a play. And then when you watch it, the movies that were plays, you can always tell. You know, unless they completely rewrite the story, you're like, oh, we've been kind of in 3 locations this whole movie. This was a play. So, anyway, just an aside.
Well, we talked over the setting up of Dr. Bott and the therapy session with
it's Jessica.
Not Jessica, because that's Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
But what is the name of Missy? It's Missy.
Missy.
Missy is often the one seeing Dr. Bott for her therapy sessions. And the secret of Dr. Bott is revealed later, but Dr. Bott is really, he's giving these kind of pearls of wisdom, these pieces of advice, but it's really based off of pre-recorded
cliches.
Yeah, basically. He'll hear a word, he keys off the word, and then every cloud has a silver lining, when he hears silver, like that's what he said.
I feel down. Going down is the only way to know you're going up.
Is that what he says?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's what he'll do.
Okay.
Now, Josh, we did talk over one of our favorite lines, which is the robot coming in there and telling the captain, "Here is your Harvey Wallbanger."
Your Harvey Wallbanger.
So I have to ask you, have you had a Harvey Wallbanger?
No, although I want one.
I want one.
I want one now.
We need to go to a bar and get a Harvey Wallbanger.
And that's I can't remember the actor's name. I can never remember his name.
Who, him?
Yeah.
Any day of the week. Hold on, I'm going to tell you. This guy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he auditioned for Superman.
Matt Boomer. I don't know if he did, but this guy should. Hey, Henry Cavill is great.
Well, he has a similar look.
They do look very similar, but I like this guy. I like him as he could have been Superman. He would have been a great Superman.
Oh, sure.
Matt Boomer is his name. He's a money-looking dude. I gotta hand it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his hand is actually a repurposed Power Glove.
Yeah, Nintendo Power Glove.
Well, I never thought about it, but that's one of the beauties of this movie is how well they were able to make it look on a very low budget.
Well, you know, I'm just gonna. Okay, so since we're talking over this, we have to assume that anyone listening to this has seen the movie. But let's go ahead and break it down. So, like you said, this is like the ice storm in space,
right?
And there's already a lot going on. You have the new first officer has arrived at the station. She's kind of quiet, kind of cagey. She's smart, but she's hiding something. We don't know what. Something medical. That's interesting, right? So you're like, what is that?
I am aware of the irregularities.
Yeah. And I'll go into that in a minute.
Okay.
And then we're introduced to Matt Boomer's character, and I think it's Melissa Missy.
Yeah.
And they clearly have a dysfunctional marriage, and they have their daughter who's
Sunshine,
the only girl on the space, adorable. Yeah. And
Jerry O'Connell here.
Jerry O'Connell,
and a very bit part.
Yeah, it's kind of
which
small.
is fine.
He's married to another girl on the station.
Yeah,
and
he's married to the woman who was just
talking to Missy,
the kind of Avon lady of this.
Yeah,
this
of course.
Station. I think actually that this movie was probably not called Space Station 76 when it was originally conceived. I think it was called Omega 76
really?
Because that's the name of the station. It's called Omega 76.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know. We'd have to look.
Just a guess.
Yeah. But we're being introduced to the characters and their dynamics with each other. A little bit. We've been introduced to the captain, who. How do you describe the
Captain Glenn Carey? I love Captain Glenn Carey.
He's one of a kind.
You get his sense of who he is with that brief scene he has with Liv Tyler. She comes in, and he immediately is
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson. He is immediately. I just want to call him Glenn Carey. Captain Glenn Carey. Here is your Harvey Wallbanger.
Yeah,
he is you immediately see the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, you're right. In that exchange.
Yeah, he's holding back, but he's coming from a very sexist world.
Well, not only that,
and he's hiding something.
The way he delivers lines, his demeanor. Like you said, it tells you everything you need to know.
Well, he's condescending in a way that is it's sexist. He says he's trying to teach her basically how the navigation works, and he says it's like this is the F-15. She's like, I'm familiar with the entire F series. He's like, you've navigated using the F-15. Well, I don't know why you didn't stop me. I didn't want to interrupt you. He's like, well, little lady, that's very impressive. She's like, my name is Jessica, sir.
Yeah.
He's like, I know your name, Lieutenant Marlowe. So he's like, don't talk down to me. He gets into that later in the end, when he has his, explosion. But
so you just call me if there's anything that you need.
Yeah, now Jerry O'Connell's character is married to this woman who's on screen. And forgot her character's name. But he's having an affair with Misty.
Her name is Donna.
Donna, right.
And her name is in real is
I've seen her and stuff.
Callie Rocha. She was one of the writers of the story.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Now, I like this song. I like the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
The score that they made is very sparse, but it's good. But also the soundtrack that they use. I think it's Todd Lundgren. I think that's the name of the artist that they use.
Score?
No, the opening music.
Yeah.
That's Todd Lundgren.
Oh.
And he has another piece in there too.
Okay.
When he's smoking the joint.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he sees the big-breasted woman out there.
Again,
yeah.
I guess this is all pointless to explain because anyone listening to this has seen the movie, but
yeah.
Of course we're just, chopping up over these scenes. The captain is also incredibly homosexual and in absolute denial.
You're gay. You're a gay man, and we all know it.
Which just adds yet another layer to this guy, which Patrick Wilson, I don't know how he did it.
I don't know who else could have played
He makes
this
it look
part.
so easy.
I know.
And he killed it. He absolutely killed it. So I was telling you when we were playing this in the background, the character of Missy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to not like her.
You say Missy?
Missy.
Misty.
Pretty sure it's Missy.
No, it's Misty.
Our everyday lives.
Trust me, I know
Okay,
what I'm
you're
talking about.
Misty is so unlikable.
Yep.
You know,
Well, she's that fake nice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and
it's
every
very inauthentic.
facial expression she makes, I want to punch her in the face. And everything she does to people is snarky and sarcastic and rude without being rude. And I just hate the sight of her, which makes you love Liv Tyler even more. Who? Liv Tyler. I love her in this movie.
Oh, she's great.
She's an odd one, but when they get the right role for her, she's good.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of her. I think she's fine, but in this movie, I think, she's easy to. She's a very likable character.
Yeah.
Because she does. I mean, you know, here we're learning about, you know, how she can't have children. We don't know why yet, but, you know, but she has that motherly instinct that comes out immediately with Sunshine.
Yeah.
And she's immediately at odds with Misty and with the captain, but she fits. She fits in with Matt Boomer.
Mm-hmm. Ted.
With Ted, and they
because they're
bond.
both just mellow people, you know. I mean, partly
It's not just. They're mellow, but they're both
unhappy.
They're both deeply unhappy
Yeah.
and lonely,
Yes.
and that's how, because she's hiding something. You know, the fear of being judged, or, you know, that she's not going to fit in. But he's also deeply unhappy because he's stuck with in a marriage that isn't working, and he has this daughter though, but that he loves.
Yeah.
So they both kind of feel trapped by their circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're able to make that connection, and it's one of the more poignant things going on.
And they
in the
have
movie.
great chemistry.
Yeah,
together.
definitely,
They
definitely.
really click.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll just bring it up now since you brought up her secret.
Yeah,
It
you
is-
say that she's a man.
That's what I thought. I'm perfectly willing to concede that I'm wrong. But when I first saw
That's
the
not.
movie,
That's not the conclusion that I had. But although
no,
that's perfect,
you're right. I'm wrong, but that's what I thought the first time. I
I've
saw
gone
the
to
movie.
think that she probably is, because of what you said, and I'm pretty.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you're not the only one who's thought that. I've looked
I
this
wonder.
up.
I
I've
just
looked
thought it
it
was
up.
horribly wrong that she was hiding that she had a sex change, so therefore she can't have kids. Which I thought.
Considering the
that was
numerous times
interesting.
I've rewatched this,
Yeah.
you know, the way that Misty comes at her during the Christmas party at the
Yeah.
end.
It's vicious.
It's vicious, but the way she says it, she's insulting her femininity in a way that is. It's not just because she's barren.
Yeah.
It's something more. She says, like, you ever wonder why she's on the bridge acting like a man?
Exactly.
Maybe
That's-
because she's not a real woman.
That's
you know?
why I thought.
So I was like, maybe
Yeah.
Justin is right. Like, I thought it was just because she couldn't have children. That's why she was, and she
Are they
prided
playing
herself.
a beta?
Yeah, I think it was. Well, this was supposed to be the 70s,
Yeah,
so
no, I know.
they
That's
had
cool.
Betamax. Yeah.
Activating food service preparation.
Yeah.
You have chosen crew cow.
The space station actually,
Broccoli pie.
like the rooms and the bridge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This could be on the Odyssey,
Crew meal will be available in
2001.
100 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kinda looks like that.
Visually, it has a
little bit.
either Odyssey or the actual space station. Ironically, that opens up 2001. You know, I feel like this could be the living quarters of that same station. It has a very similar. Of course, that was the late 60s, mid 60s.
It was late 60s.
Yeah.
69, I think. Well, here's one of our favorite scenes with Captain Glengarry. He's
I believe
yeah.
he was part of the stage play.
Yeah, maybe.
I believe so.
Maybe, yeah. No, that's the note. The Dear John letter from
I'm leaving the
From
ship
Daniel.
effective immediately. Yeah, something Daniel. We'll learn more.
I believe
about
everybody
Daniel.
has their whole minds all twisted up over this whole Daniel thing, so I'm going to set the record straight right now. Yeah.
So this poor kid, this character, this girl,
Yeah.
she has no other children on this ship to interact with,
Nope.
and she's forced to try and find companionship.
Well, she finds companionship with Liv Tyler.
Yeah, but I mean, this is before that, so now she's
Yeah.
just desperately trying to connect with anyone, including the captain here, who could not be less interested. who quite literally lights a cigarette and blows it in her face to try and get her to
He doesn't
leave.
blow it in her face.
Well-
he drifts it toward her as if, just to get rid of her.
He definitely aimed in her direction.
And I think if he blew it in her face, we'd lose.
Yeah, maybe not blow it in her
likability
face,
for
but
him,
he
but-
aimed it that way.
Yeah. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad news. That's what I've picked up that expression. I'll say when somebody says something like bad has happened to them, I'm like, that's bad news. But they don't think it's as funny as I do.
I like his jacket.
Yeah.
I don't like the colors, but I like the
Yeah.
design.
Well, I know it's fun to laugh with Glenn Carey, but this is a man that's in a lot of pain.
He is.
And there's a lot of like crushing just defeat in his. You're just laughing at this, I know.
yeah, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Isn't it really, really boring hanging out here
No,
with
you're
me?
right.
I know.
This is a man who, like,
He's suicidal.
literally,
like
who in about
he's given up. Like
50 minutes attempts suicide. They play it as kind of a joke when it happens, but he is a genuinely is a man who is in denial of his sexuality,
Right.
who has lost a sexual partner that he felt obviously comfortable with, and is trying so hard to
I don't know if he was ever
move
comfortable.
forward from living in the past. I think he was comfortable with
Daniel.
Daniel.
Daniel said, well, he's an alcoholic. Daniel said, I left because you had to be drunk to make love to me.
That's
and then you
true.
cried in your pillow.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
obviously
You're right.
not comfortable.
Okay, I retract that.
So
But let me rephrase that. He
Yeah.
explored his sexuality with someone who abandoned him.
yeah.
And here he is on this station, and he feels, whether it's true or not, we really don't know. I really don't know how good at his job he is, but he sure thinks he's very, very good at it.
I no.
He thinks
He thinks he's good at his job.
I
But
don't know.
none
how
of these
good at
people
it
have
he is.
respect for him.
No, they don't.
No.
He may know the inner workings. He may know the technical stuff on the ship, but be a horrible captain. That's very possible. He clearly has no people skills.
He doesn't. No. Well, especially since Daniel left. He doesn't. I think he's become kind of a tyrant probably after Daniel left.
Yeah, but see, that's the funny thing. He tries to be a tyrant, but no one takes him seriously. They don't go for it.
Because they know he's
Whenever I
just
see this looks like
silent running.
Silent Running.
Yeah. I know it does.
Here we come.
That wasn't on the soundtrack.
Yeah,
I know. No one's gonna think that's funny.
It is in our heads.
I know. Why did we? Was that song playing when we were watching that movie?
No,
How did
I
that
don't
happen?
know. That movie was made in the 70s, and somehow when it
The
cut
Monkees
to that
was
scene,
in the 60s.
Would it be okay if
Okay,
somebody
whatever.
over here
The
would
point
just-
is that when I saw that scene play, that's what I heard in my head. I started singing it, and it worked. And
Okay.
for you and me, that
worked.
became part of the movie.
Yeah. Well, she just found out that he cultivates marijuana. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that
That's
initially
how he
bonds them.
copes.
See, Omega 76. You see it?
Yeah.
Everybody smokes in this movie.
Of
too.
course.
And around their babies. She's smoking around her baby.
She's got little stumpy
It's got the little
thumbs.
viewfinder. What?
She's got little stumpy thumbs.
I didn't notice.
You will. Her character
Yeah.
is
Donna.
she's not as bad as Misty,
No.
but she is also quite unlikable.
Well, it's that again. It's that just she's not. I don't think she's not being as deceptive as,
No, she's not as deceptive.
but yeah, it's that sense of just being inauthentic.
Yeah, and
it comes out in the end. I think the moment
the
I
end turns me around on her a little bit.
doesn't turn me around on her. You mean like it
It makes me feel for her.
a little bit?
Yeah.
But I meant before that, before the actual ending, the conclusion,
Uh-huh.
when they strike the asteroid. I'm talking about when they first go to the Christmas party, and
And she feels hurt that it's
yeah,
being shared.
because she wants it to be a going away party,
Right.
And she says, "There's no cake," and then Jerry O'Connell says, "There's a cake." And she says, "Yeah, it's a Christmas cake, not a cake for them."
Yeah.
So she's, she was acting very much the part of like, yeah, let's all have a party. It's Christmas, but really she just wanted to party for herself. So,
Well, like she pointed out when she was talking to Jerry O'Connell, she was the fun ambassador on the ship. So she would always do things like that for the people, and she felt kind of let down that no one really did it for her.
well, you know, a person should be able to be giving without expecting. You know, that's that's where the false part comes into play.
Yeah, I mean that's where her selfishness and greediness comes in, but it's still an emotion that we can at least relate to. At least it was real.
Yeah.
Unlike her other things, which were either just mean or rude, that at least was a real emotion, even though it's uncalled for. Let's say.
Yeah.
But when their cargo ship is hit and destroyed, and their stuff goes everywhere, I mean, we all can imagine what that would feel like. And I felt for her. And at the end, when I want to say, does she like lay in bed with Jerry O'Connell and they just kind of hold each other? Is it something like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just looking out the window. I think that's the last we see of them.
Okay. But I just remember feeling bad.
They may go back to their place together.
Maybe that's
something
what it
like
is.
that.
I might be confusing the shots with Misty and the husband. Or
Maybe.
something.
Okay.
But nevertheless, the point being is that she was just kind of unlikable, you know, for the most part. But you start to see some humanity from her in the end. Whereas Misty,
a little bit.
I mean, there's
Is there nothing redeemable about her in the end?
One thing for Misty. She is left alone. And I swear, the movie ends, you think if she committed suicide, you'd be like, yeah, I see it.
I hasten to mention the metaphor. Well, that's the asteroid that's actually going to hit them
Yes.
at the end. So,
These effects are not great,
but
they're fine.
It's acceptable.
I love this. Look at
I know the sets are so awesome.
God, they're great. I want to live there.
I know. Well, everywhere, whenever they have like scenes like this where there's no dialogue, they have this cheesy 70s elevator music playing.
Yeah.
When I mix the audio, hopefully people listening will be able to hear it. Hello. Hamburger day today. But I love he's wearing the bib. I like that.
These awkward looks.
I know. Like, hey.
Patrick Wilson is kind of like a renaissance man of film acting. He's done a lot of different things. He goes to move.
This is always such a sad moment. He's like trying to like
connect
a little bit, and then Ted just gets up and runs.
Well, he didn't know he was already getting up.
Kind of, yeah. You don't know if it was like an automatic response to flee.
I don't think it was. I think he was literally in the I don't think he was noticing the captain get up.
This guy, did you recognize this guy? This black guy?
No, who is it?
I only know him from one thing. It's from Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, God, no.
I don't know. It was like 20 years ago. What?
This is the suicide scene, isn't it?
Well, this is one of them.
Oh.
He tries to do it multiple times. No, he drops the clock in there.
Yeah. See, like I said, they play it as comedy, but this is serious.
The song here is good. Come and wear your red dress tonight.
I love this.
I love that clock. I want that clock.
Friggin' bathroom, man. It's like awesome.
No, because he's remembering something with Daniel right now.
Yeah.
Because he's in the water, and his memories of him being in Daniel being in the water together. Like, so that's where he's. Yeah.
No, this is nice.
But everybody knows he's gay, you know, and so that's not, you know, not everybody knows that Jessica has this secret, is harboring this secret.
Well,
but Misty.
Yeah, that's true. But like,
yeah,
you know, everyone knows the captain's gay, but the captain doesn't know that everyone knows he's gay. You know,
yeah,
so he thinks
doesn't
he's got a secret.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's trying to be very masculine and have this bravado, and
yeah.
He thinks that just would go against the electrical failure in bath pod.
Correcting power circuits.
I love there's no reaction from him. He just picks it up, puts it back, and it comes back on with no problems whatsoever. And the song continues to play.
Poor guy.
It's funny, but it's sad.
No,
you know?
it
And that's
is.
what makes it work. You know that
it's the tone of the movie. It's a hard
I know.
one to strike, but they do it.
it's a delicate balance, and they manage it very well.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to walk that tightrope, and they do it. Is this where he has his dream sequence?
I think so.
Okay. This is the other Todd Lundgren song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think, yeah, Utopia. That's what the first one's called.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what this one's called. I remember your comment was that her boobs are too fake looking.
Well, they are.
Didn't bother me.
Do you think?
Here we are again.
Do you think maybe they should have had his little vision there be someone who didn't, at first glance, kind of remind him of
Misty?
his wife? Yeah. I mean, he's already met Liv Tyler. Maybe she should have been a brunette. I mean, I know I'm just picking.
I like his smile. He's like, hey, how's it going?
This is the Christmas vacation moment.
Yeah, it is kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah. Santa Claus, huh? Yeah. No, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, maybe it's meant to be that way. You know, you don't want him to automatically see.
Yeah, maybe.
Because her head changes to Liv Tyler in the next dream sequence.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, maybe it was better to, so we can see
I'd
his
forgotten
change.
that,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I wonder if these are actually like vintage
You know,
magazines.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
Probably.
were. You could honestly go to an antique store and find them pretty easily.
What's she thinking right now?
Sunshine?
Yeah. Because she's, okay, if you're not watching it, she's looking at these, these nudie magazines from the 70s, and she's looking in the mirror. Is she judging herself? Like, what?
I don't think she's judging herself. I think she's...
Does she understand what she's looking at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think she knows what she's looking at, and I think... This may be way too deep, but I don't think she's necessarily consciously aware of what she's doing, but I think she's, because of her environment, because of who she's surrounded by, I think she's imagining or thinking or dreaming what it would be like to be older, to be an adult, thinking maybe then she can connect with people, because there's so many things she's not allowed to do right now. And
Well, I
she
mean,
doesn't understand that because everyone else does.
It seemed like she was wondering, like, is this the way I'm supposed to be, like, as a female? You know, I mean, she's looking at her mother, who is sexual.
But
I
she
don't know,
doesn't
not
look
around
at her
her,
mother that
but
way, though.
yeah, I guess that's true. But
If she saw her mother doing certain things, I can understand that thought
Yeah.
process being connected. But
To a 7-year-old, you could have killed our daughter.
I only gave her half.
I don't care how much. I don't want you.
this is
giving
like
her-
the only scenes they ever have together. They're fighting.
yeah,
But,
he doesn't stand up to her much. But when it comes to the daughter, that's
When it
where
comes
he-
to Sunshine, he will.
he puts
that's
his foot
that's where
down.
that's where he draws the line.
Like you do all day, Misty.
Yeah. And it's so weird. I've seen, interviews with the cast, and, Misty, like I said, is just so horribly unlikable. But you see her in she's like nice, and she so loves Matt Boomer. Like they just love that guy, and
Yeah.
it's so strange because she seems like nothing but venom
Well,
towards
she's
him.
really, she's cute. She was.
She
was
be.
in Super Troopers. Remember?
Sure.
And
And
she was really cute in that movie.
and she was
supposed to
in
be, but-
Saving Silverman.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah.
That was Amanda Peet.
No, not that character.
No,
Wasn't she like a nun?
No, that's another person.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, she was in Super Troopers, and she
Yes.
was adorable in that.
Yeah.
And like totally likable. Acting.
Yeah.
Was just recharging.
The captain's really getting on me about the hydrogen tank.
Okay, I'm
Do you think there was? What was the? I've thought of what could be the meaning of joining the two audio bits of. Because go back about 5 minutes when she discovered, Sunshine discovered the what are they, hamsters? What is she growing?
Are they gerbils?
Gerbils.
Or
I think they're gerbils.
little babies?
Yeah, she discovered that the mommy gerbil had eaten another one of the baby gerbils, and she screams.
Yeah.
And it cuts from her scream to her mom having a faux orgasm.
Right.
So, I mean, I've often thought, was that just like a scene transition trick, or what was the point of joining those two things? Like, because let me go off on this for a second, because this is one of those subplots that has a meaning to it.
Okay.
Sunshine obviously does not connect with her mother,
Right.
and she's in a position where she's attempting. Well, these gerbils, she's so concerned about them. She wants this gerbil to have children, but the mommy gerbil keeps eating the baby gerbils, and she gives the last one, the last one that the mom has not eaten yet, to Liv Tyler to protect at some point later in the movie.
Yeah.
So are the gerbils, is the baby gerbil supposed to be Sunshine? Is she giving herself to Liv Tyler to like...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, she's like protect...
Yeah, that's a total metaphor.
Yeah, well, okay. Like, is that the way of seeing it? Is that the only way of seeing it, or was there...
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's, in my opinion, it's and totally intentionally supposed to be that.
Got it.
But then you mentioned the cut.
Yeah, the cut.
From her scream to the faux orgasm, and wondering, well, is there a deeper meaning to that?
Yeah.
I do think probably mainly it was just a cool cut, but if you were to rationalize the cut, I would make the argument that
I've always wondered what it would be like on Earth. I've never been.
they're both literally screaming for different reasons, but here is a child screaming for help, and her mother is off doing this. So I think smash cutting them together really brings out an instinctual reaction from people of, why aren't you with your child? And not only why aren't you with her, this is what you're doing. And it furthers the animosity towards the Misty character.
Well, it's a juxtaposition of something that's very real, her terror, to something that's very fake.
Has a mind of its own.
Yes. It's military requisition, so it's got to take what they give you.
You're so brave.
Yeah, she's never had an orgasm, so clearly she's faking it. So,
But we don't know that then, and I think the point of my
yeah, but
argument
in
still
retrospect,
stands.
we do.
Well,
And movies are
yes.
meant to be watched more than once.
Fair enough.
Usually,
Okay.
so
No, you're right. Fair enough.
but here's something that happened. Liv Tyler and Matt and Ted are talking about whatever. Lieutenant Marlowe and Ted are talking about Starship 8. Like do you remember the Starship 8 through line?
That it's supposed to be a bigger and better place to go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where Donna and Jerry O'Connell want to go.
Right.
And that's where Ted mentioned. He's like, oh yeah, they have great schools for Sunshine, that kind of thing. He's like, yeah, I really want to go to Starship 8. That's what their utopia is.
Yeah.
That's where they want to go. That's their Garden of Eden. That's their
I even caught a line
island,
that Misty's character said when we were setting up. She referenced that Starship 8 and said that it's not a place where people are put there because of position. They're there because they have money or they're important. In other words, it's like a Richie
It's a status
colony,
thing.
or it's a status thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that was it's social commentary. That's obviously what this movie is.
Oh yeah.
And what, like it's not science fiction, but it takes place in a science fiction element, is that it's one step removed. And that's what makes, commentary so effective. It has to be one step removed. It can't be direct, or else we won't want to watch it. It's too direct. He's such a horn dog.
He just did it with Misty.
I know.
He's so dirty.
It's like, no, it's too fast. Just let me get into it.
It's too soon. Just let me get into it. Hold on. Keep going.
Not a repurposed Zap gun from Nintendo. Remember the Duck Hunt gun?
Yeah. This must be repurposed from something.
Could have been. It's probably just an old prop, but
Or it's mashed together from different things. Why would he's about to start
jacking it?
masturbating.
Why would
he use the robot hand? That seems like a really risky endeavor.
Considering, what happens later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Who knows? Maybe he doesn't have to use his muscle or stroke his heart or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. doesn't chafe or something. I don't know. Turns off the TV, man. The baby monitor.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. It's like, okay, keep going. Yeah. But she doesn't even react to it. This is like the...
Oh, no, she reacts.
Well, no, she just gets
She
up.
just gets up. I mean, that's a reaction, you know.
Oh, but it's a very subtle one. She doesn't even look at him.
No, she's disgusted. She just... They're in a waterbed.
It's not... Yeah, I know. It's not... It's kind of like an American Beauty moment, I guess.
Oh, they're in the kitchen.
She's
I
in the
thought she was
kitchen.
in her quarters. I don't know why I thought that. No, they're totally
I think
in
this is like their rec room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, I just noticed that.
Why is she sad right there? Was she thinking about her dad?
I don't know.
She's about to call
I think
Claire Dooley. Claire
Care Dulia.
Dulia.
Yeah. I think, like she says to the dad, I think she's just feeling lonely.
Well, she was thinking, yeah, and then she thinks of her dad, and she wants to connect with her dad right here too, but she can't because he's too obsessed with getting himself right in the picture phone.
Yeah.
He's like, "Am I good? Am I good?"
Yeah.
And
you're
she's
fine.
like, and then he's fine. He's like, "How are you?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's
I'm
like,
great, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He's like, he doesn't care.
He cares. He's obviously
No, he cares, but he doesn't hear the tone in her voice.
No,
you know?
he cares. He's just not paying
Oh, he does.
attention.
Yeah, he does care. I take that back. But I love that they got him to do this little
I
cameo.
know. Well, you know, he's a guy, he's just an actor, you know. We've elevated him to something else, but
Well, yeah, most people might not remember. He does such a good job.
Oh,
a
I
little
know.
over here, a little over here. And this is it. He only has this little brief
Yeah.
scene.
Well, now it's a little bit close. Just back up a little bit.
he'll always Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, she just kind of gives up right there.
Maybe you're playing your music too loud.
God, the way she handles this poor kid is just sickening.
No, yeah, it's very hard. She's got a lot of pictures of horses that I've never noticed before.
Oh yeah.
One left.
She's so cold.
Yeah.
One left.
Heartless.
That's it. And this is where she morphs into Liv Tyler. So what do you think about the possibility if she is a man? If Liv Tyler is a man, she's had a sex change, but he sees her as nothing but as feminine.
Well, yeah, well, of course. I mean, I don't get what's your...
I don't know. Like, what are they trying to say about sexuality? I mean, we have a gay man on the ship
Oh,
who's in the closet, and then we have this woman here who may have had a sex change from being a man who he falls for,
well then,
right?
okay. I see where you're going.
Okay.
I think given that sexuality is an issue in this, whether it be a homosexual in denial or other people just wanting to be sexual with other people that aren't their spouse, to me, I mean, you can make an argument for both of her potential issues, whether it be that she's just barren or that she was a man. However, I like the idea that she's a man because, to follow your theme here,
I
Part
never
of
noticed this.
they're dancing.
Well,
with
it's
it.
because I've listened to the movie so many times, but that moment they shared right there was
Yeah.
really nice.
And
And she ran. She got a little scared.
she did.
She got a little scared right there.
Yeah, she's got a little fear of intimacy going
Yeah.
on, it seems like.
Well, maybe that's what it is. I mean, maybe it's not so much about sexuality; it's about connections. It's about connections.
Well, yeah,
You know what
between
I mean?
their characters, yes. But to go back to your thought,
To
though,
quote that guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin. And pussy juice cocktails. Shit stained bowls.
shit stained balls, rusty trombone.
Daddy, I want to play the anti-gravity game.
Is examining the idea of accepting yourself and who and what you are. You know,
Yeah.
he is a gay man. He identifies, although he's in denial of it, he identifies as a gay man. She identifies as a woman, or, you know, he identified as a woman. And then other people are in denial about the feelings they have for each other. Liv Tyler and Matt Boomer as an example. But you could make that same argument about sexuality as far as what makes you. Is Glenn any less of a man because he's gay? Is she any less of a woman because she can't bear children? So you could definitely go around and around on both. And I think they're both completely accurate.
I don't know. I mean, the question of his masculinity certain comes into play because...
yeah, but why does he have to be masculine? You can be a
I don't
man
know.
and
It's
not be...
these sexual stereotypes. That's what it is. Because
yeah.
she challenges him on it in the end. She says, "Sir, you're the last person I think we should stick to conventions." It's like, why can't you just be more of a man, That's what she says,
Which I think is actually kind of out of character for her, because she'd be the first one to say you don't need to be a stereotypical macho man.
She does say it, though.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to do this.
0G. The anti-gravity game, that's what they call it.
So much fun.
This is how the movie ends.
Yeah.
And, I've often thought, because it ends with sunshine.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait till we get there before we talk about that?
Might as well.
Wait?
Yeah.
Okay. You never see him not drinking or not smoking. He's doing both or one. Drinking brandy, I think. I would not order an alcoholic beverage on the bridge. Robot, take that to Ted. I think that
it's really,
yeah.
We may have talked about this stuff in other commentaries, but
yeah,
I really find chemistry fascinating.
Between
what the hell makes it work? You can't. If they could figure it out, there was a definition to that. Movies would never be boring because there'd be chemistry.
It's balance with one actor, kind of filling one spectrum, and the other filling the other spectrum, and it's like yin and yang. They balance each other out with their energy, and it fits like a puzzle piece, for some reason, and who knows? I mean,
look at the Three Amigos. Those three guys.
Yeah.
How?
Dustin Hoffman and
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
It just works, But even these two, Liv Tyler and Matt Boomer, they don't. I mean, they're starting to talk more now, but they spent like half of the movie just exchanging looks, and it works. There's something about their appearance that even makes them have chemistry on screen.
Yeah,
it's just talking to himself.
I know.
But that's so wonderful. It's not even that big of a deal. It shouldn't even be.
It's funny. I know it is, but it's really heartbreaking.
It is.
Because he's so at the end.
Yeah.
Like he's given up completely. Mm-hmm. And when he's having a drunken rant, it's funny, but like in the next scene, he's gonna try to kill himself again. And it's put into humor because he tries to vent. I think he tries to vent the room into space.
Right.
And the computer automatically shuts it down, but as he's doing it, like a piece of paper flies to his face and it sticks there. it's like he can't even kill himself correctly, without it being funny.
Come on.
That's another thing about this movie, what it's saying about kind of this art. There's something artificial going on, because that's something that Liv Tyler's character mentions. When she says to Sunshine, have you ever seen a real tree or seen a forest or something like that? And Sunshine says, oh, we go to the projection room. She's like, oh no, you have to see one
for
real. You have to been to Earth, and even Ted says to Marlo, she's like, oh, you've never been to Earth? Were you a ship child? So obviously there's something where they become disconnected from nature, from natural things.
Sure.
And they live in a world of artificiality, They're surrounded by it, and the connections they make that Ted and Liv Tyler, that Ted and Marlo make are in this. It starts here in this place where there's natural elements.
Yeah.
You know, you could make an argument for that.
Yeah.
It's the last one.
How did her hair get wet? Did I miss something here?
She was just in there with.
Were they doused with water?
Were you watching?
I thought like
it started raining.
Oh,
on
it
them.
rained. Okay, I thought it was the light bulbs kind of flickering or something.
No,
like that.
no. It was, that's how they keep it. They got to water the plants.
Okay.
And they ran outside and she went back in for whatever reason.
Live
She
without
gives
its
the
mom. It can't
gives the
live
gerbil over.
on its own.
Why did she kill it?
What's that for? You know, what's the hidden meaning there? You know, she says, "Why did she kill it?" And she says, "Mommy gerbils care so much about their babies, they would rather
They would kill it before
see them die before they experience any more pain or something like that." you know?
Because that's what Misty is doing to Sunshine. She's smothering her to the point to where she's not living.
But she said that mommy gerbils love their children so much.
Misty
Does she
loves Sunshine, but she's
brutal.
Okay,
you
let
know,
me reword that.
Emotionally
I
brutal.
think Misty
She'll be so happy.
wants to love Sunshine, but I think Misty is almost chemically incapable of love.
That's an
But she
interesting way
knows
to put it.
I mean, of course, it's her daughter. I think she wants to love her but because of what she's doing to herself, what Misty's doing, she can't experience feelings. She's emotionally dead.
No, I just think
She takes these pills that just turn her into a blank slate.
He's saying she's like emotionally barren, like
Yes.
like Liv Tyler is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
I have you. Do you pick up on that?
I guess so.
Well, and she's manipulative. She just said this right here about Liv Tyler. She said, "Oh, I think she's a manipulative person." Do you know what that means? No, it means she's a bad person, and she's basically trying to turn this one friend she's made, that Sunshine has made, into an enemy.
Yeah.
And she makes up another lie later in the movie about the little space frozen dog.
Yeah.
Remember?
I'm your best
I mean,
friend.
yeah, Liv Tyler gets
See,
that for Sunshine.
She's very possessive.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "What? I'm not your best friend."
She's like, "No, that's not true. I'm your best friend." It's
These
like, oh,
little
yeah.
bits of emotion she has, she can't handle them because she's so chemically dependent on being blank, and now she's feeling this. She doesn't know what to do.
Why would you think that?
Well, I think it's living to like those conventions. I think she's supposed, like Misty feels she's supposed to be this one type of female, she's supposed to be a pretty mom who is a good housewife and whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, and my daughter will love me because of that, and then Liv Tyler comes on, who may have had a sex change, and all of a sudden Sunshine is growing an affinity for her. She's like, well, what? She's fucked up. I'm your mom and I'm normal. I was like, you can't be hanging out with someone abnormal. That's not the way the world works, So she's getting upset. She's getting angry, She's feeling invalidated, So she wants that validation back. She's going to fight for it. She's going to be manipulative in doing so.
Yeah.
Well, these are little bits I've actually missed listening to the movie, that she actually nurses the gerbil with the eyedropper. Jealous? You bet. I love the dialogue in this movie. See, this is where he tells her they're going to Starship 8. Drinking. There's a lot of drinking in this movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Everything is in excess.
Yeah. I like his jacket. So in 2 weeks they're going to Starship 8.
He really looks like he belongs in
He
the
does,
70s.
doesn't he? Yeah.
That's great. Steve, that's great. Thanks.
So
man.
does his wife there.
Yeah.
Ted doesn't really look like a product of the 70s. He's cool. But
Yeah.
these two,
I think Ted fits in.
Even
you could fit
Misty
in anywhere.
does.
Yeah.
But of course it's her hair, but
4 stories of consumer goods. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. Jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that, man.
I'm just going through a lot of fucked up stuff right now. I'm having a hard time applying everything we've talked about. My husband just keeps coming at me with this need. And
You know, she talks about the need that her husband has, and he doesn't really.
No.
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't ask her for much of
No,
anything.
not at all. Not at all.
I think he's given up.
Well, it's, this is the only little. These are the moments when she really shows her emotions.
Yeah.
And she gives her trust over to this robot who is not sentient, and she really comes off as this victim type. I'm not saying she is a victim, but she thinks she's herself as a victim.
Oh yeah.
And that type of person, boy, I cannot stand those kind of people. Man, they're frustrating.
I agree.
They'll always put themselves in that victim corner to get sympathy from people.
What makes me happy?
What makes Misty okay?
Now, what is this saying? She says right here, she's like, Dr. Bot, you make me happy. And Dr. Bot has a conniption fit and starts to break down. But she's saying the one person that makes me happy is something that's not even real. It's something fake, artificial. And she can't make a connection with a real person,
Yeah.
I've got to be close to somebody. I think.
You're coming too close to your therapist bot. Do you think they sell Dr. Bots? I'd like to have a Dr. Bot.
I don't know. He looks like he's
like a melding of a couple of different things.
Yeah.
You know me. I tell you.
Well, Dr. Bot is a renaissance man. He does a lot of things around the ship. He's not just the therapist bot.
Well, I did notice him going around, but was that Dr. Bot or was that just supposed
Another
to be
robot?
another robot?
I've always just assumed it was one robot, and he masquerades as Dr. Bot and as the drink carrier and the maintenance robot. He's.
I guess that's funnier.
That he's all those different things. Yeah. Better that there's one.
I dig that chair, man, with the glass going around back. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a chair coffee table.
Yeah. Disco Dad.
This is one of the few moments they actually have together.
Yeah, they don't have many.
No, but it's a good scene. He's reprimanding him. It's good. And his it's Captain Glenn's kind of, his position as a captain, comes into under fire. And it really kind of think it shows his insecurity,
Moisture gets into the current conductor.
Well, actually, and also, what it shows? His inability to lead. Because he's not an effective communicator.
I forget what they're
talking about.
here.
He said, he's like, oh, is this what we're doing? We're welding with like open containers or something. He's like, he's like, all right. He says, you wrote me up. Do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? He's like, do you want me to do my job? He's like, I want, Ted, is for you to be able to do your job, and without me, whatever. That's what I'm looking for. Good critical thinking skills, Ted. That's what impresses me. That's.
Daniel's been promoting. When you told
and then the Daniel thing. That's where he's upset because Daniel was promoted over him when he's worked there longer. And this is where the lupus things come in. Lupus.
And I have lupus.
Lupus. Yeah, his mother had lupus, and that's why he had to leave the ship. So he's upset.
That's why he had to go.
And well within reason, people...
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm not Admiral yet. How am I supposed to soar with the eagles?
Talking with turkeys. Yeah, he's been working there longer, so he wants... you could feel that he deserves the position.
I think that little shuttle said it was from the Koenig shipping.
Yeah.
As in, like, Walter Koenig?
Oh, that's how it was spelled?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. A little reference here and there. That's just the kind of subtle little thing I don't mind.
May just be a coincidence.
It's not a very common name, is it? The look on his face, he's like, what are you going to ask me? What do you want?
He's being asked about a topic he knows nothing about, doesn't care about, and he's really just over his head.
Ask her permission. It's just I'd hate to bother her. Plus, she is so slow moving, and it would just be so much less of a headache if we could just ship her in her storage unit with the rest of our stuff.
You know, that's one of those like subplot bits. This is where she shows her true self right here.
It doesn't.
You don't know what she said?
No.
She's mentioning Jerry O'Connell's mom is in hibernation.
Right. No,
like
I remember that. She wants to ship her with the stuff.
Yeah. That's what she was talking to Captain Glenn about.
Oh yeah.
And the guy said, "Oh, my mom was in hibernation too. If that helps." She said, "It doesn't."
Right.
And she's like basically like, "I don't care about it."
She's like, "You're just a minion."
Yeah, you know. But that's the frozen dog. The Yorkshire Terrier, cryogenically frozen friends. Yeah. And she opens it. She's watching those home videos when they were happy.
Yeah, they used to be.
With that Super 8 camera. Honeymoon. Yeah. See, they were happy at one point.
Yeah.
You know?
But something changed.
Did she ever know when they were happy? Do you wonder if Sunshine ever knew if these two were happy together?
I hadn't thought about it, honestly. I would venture a guess that
seeing that
Misty's unhappiness started with
Sunshine. Yeah, because that made me really sad seeing that, you know.
Yeah.
Because you could see in there they were really in love at one point, and you wonder what happened. Like, why? Where did that love go? Is it gone? Can it not come back? You know, Misty looked at one time to be a nice person.
Yeah, she's smiling.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell happened, man?
I think Sunshine,
but that would make her so jaded.
I think that started.
Really?
You may not be aware of this, but
oh, really? What are you going to share?
Pregnancy.
Oh, I see.
Changes a woman. It literally changes their body chemistry.
Yeah.
And when you introduce someone who may have been naturally slightly unstable, that can amplify that. And then she could have projected her feelings of depression onto Sunshine, seeing the dad love that child unconditionally. And she could have felt jealous of Sunshine. And just that could have been, you know, just a loop of inner turmoil in that character. I love they put the mother-in-law in frozen storage.
Yeah.
And they're very careful not to load her up yet so she doesn't get spaced later.
And she lied. She lied to Jerry O'Connell.
What is it?
She set that whole thing up. She said, because she talked to Captain Glenn first and said, "Can we move her with the rest of our stuff?" And then, so she knew she was moving her last. And so, but she just said to Jerry O'Connell, she's like, "She won't fit. There's no room. We're going to have to move her later with your sports equipment." And he's like, "Oh, darn." So she had already planned that. She did not want the mom to come. She does not want the mom to come. She wants to abandon those things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of her despicable qualities coming out right there.
Yeah.
She slams it on the table. You know, what do you think that's all about? Because with this beat here, with this frozen Yorkshire Terrier dog, Sunshine deliberately lets it defrost. Remember? And the dog dies.
It's been a little while.
What
doesn't she leave it? Isn't there like some sort of miscommunication? Like the mom took it out of the box. The box clearly said, "Do not let it defrost."
It says, "Yeah, do not defrost. Will result in death." Basically,
I don't think the mom tells her that.
It says it on the box, and
she deliberately took it out of the box and got rid of the box.
I don't know. No, the box is there when Sunshine lets it defrost, I think. And she just lets it defrost. And I'm wondering if she was conscious of that or not, because she just walks away from the dog.
Well, we just missed the scene. We'd have to know what Misty said.
Oh, no, I know what she said.
Oh.
She said, I got you this for your birthday or something, but Jessica said she's allergic, so we can't have this dog around.
Oh.
But that's a lie. Misty is the one who's allergic, and Jessica's the one who got the dog.
Right.
So she's flipped it completely. You know. So that's what she said. She's like basically saying, we can't keep this thing. So here it is, what you can't have, basically. Here's another good moment. What did I tell you? She's like, why did Daniel leave? Because yeah, the whole movie, she's the new navigator, and she's come across these graphs that Daniel made when Daniel was there.
Yeah.
And she's like, why don't we use these graphs, Captain Glenn? And he's like, attention all, hear ye, hear ye. Yeah.
Daniel was promoted. Okay?
Yeah, and also I am given to believe there was some sort of.
So there you have it. Case closed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the suicide. The second one. So yeah, why does what are your thoughts on that? Why does why does Sunshine, do you think she consciously knows that dog is going to die? Is she giving up on something?
I'd have to see the scene again when she,
because it all leads into the ending, the final. Do you think that was intentional with that piece of paper flying right on his face? Okay, because I was like, they had to have done that many times.
I think they just went with it.
Okay.
Just talking to my mom about different things. It's not about you. It's about someone else.
This is that moment where she turns on her a little bit. It's kind of it hurts a little bit because Misty is starting to fill her head with these things about Liv Tyler, and then Liv Tyler's like, hey, let's go to the Arboretum. Look at the bonsai tree. And she's like, no. She's like, you don't want to go with, or just you don't want to go with me. Is that what it is? You know, so she knows that her mom's been telling her things about her.
It's just because I don't want to go for some reason. I don't know why, but I just don't really want to.
Okay, I understand.
Oh, listen, it was really cool talking to you.
Sad.
Very sad.
I know. Oh, this is when he gets the letter from I think it's a letter about the counseling that came up with Daniel that mentions him. I think that's what that letter is.
I honestly don't remember.
I think that's what that is. Yeah. During the therapy that Daniel had or something that came up. That's what that letter is. So I think it's saying that he has to like go to counseling too or something. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
Yeah, here he is about to slit his own wrist.
Yeah, because he's afraid of being exposed. That's what that letter was about. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. And the music that's playing over this scene. And then he's interrupted by this it's going to be Misty and Sunshine, but he's like in the depths of like suicide.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Very good. I'm a little busy right now.
Please don't interrupt her creativity. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas! Okay, come on.
He is a comedic character experiencing dramatic things. Yeah. Because if you take out the fact that he's suicidal, he's clearly just a dweeb anyway, you know? So he's like inherently.
There's something about Patrick Wilson in that I guess it's his ability with facial expressions. Not every actor can pull that off. He's able to look funny but sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to do, I can imagine. Maybe it comes easily for him, but he does it very well. When you're still able to look at his downcast face and still manage to find a laugh in there, considering he was about to cut his wrist.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Yeah.
Hologram chamber on.
It's actually one of the few times where he's sober in the movie. He's not drinking. He's not smoking. He's sober.
Yeah.
Very few. I think the only time. Where's Daniel?
Daniel. This is a bad time. I mean, I can hologram later. I'm sorry.
The hologram thing, like it's like Logan's Run kind of technology, isn't it?
100%.
No sanctuary.
Which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that scene is what inspired this.
So you're on the Nostradamus now.
You found me.
I guess you got that promotion.
Yes, incredibly, considering what happened.
Considering that Daniel isn't even in this movie except for that one scene, he's got this really big impression of the movie because he's talked about so much. He's in the background, and then he gets this one scene, and because you're only what?
He's Admiral.
Admiral. Well, I never knew that Larry was like, yeah. Well, he likes to be called Lawrence now. Yeah, actually.
I don't know.
No, I see what you mean.
No, yeah. He has this kind of gravity, I think, but you never see it.
Well, this is
from any other perspective.
To this, we want to know what's this Daniel thing all about.
Well, then you see it from Daniel's perspective for
yeah,
once.
It's a very different thing.
Yep.
AWOL episode. Do you happen to get this too? This one?
My little episode, Glenn. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this movie a few times. Okay.
I want to remind you that you have to be very careful about the way you talk about these things, especially in therapy, because it's very delicate.
Aye, aye, sir.
And careers can be affected.
Yeah, he just mentioned that. Do you recall what that beat was? What that moment was?
Well, just that he was telling him, you have to be careful what you say. Our careers could be affected. He's fearing that people will judge him, like you've been saying.
Were you recording this? You said that.
I love it. It's a hologram thing, which is futuristic even now, but it's still recording with a beta tape. That's good. I think this is where his hand has that malfunction.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I got your message.
I really need.
What do you think that's all about? The moment where this is as intimate as they get, and his artificial hand prevents it from escalating.
Like, does it have a deeper meaning?
Do you not want me to go into that anymore?
No. I just happened to be breathing at that moment.
Okay. No, you said it like this. Does they have a deeper meaning? I don't know.
This must be boring.
Jeez.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, thinking about it now, I think it does, considering the artificial elements that are surrounding all of them. But it malfunctions when he doesn't want it to. Is it?
It's funny and sad.
Fucking hilarious, but it's so sad at the same time. This isn't the scene. I think this is when he cuts the tape together.
Yeah.
But make love to me, Glenn. Make love to me, Glenn.
I left because you had to be stinking drunk to make love to me, and then you sobbed in your pillow after to make love.
His face.
Yeah.
Look at him shake.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but like his hand malfunctions. Why? I mean, it's nothing that he does. It just happens at a very inopportune time.
Well, if you want to assign kind of deeper metaphorical type, not metaphor. Well, yeah, kind of metaphor. They are, in all technicality, about to engage in an inappropriate act. They start to kiss. He starts to touch her.
I don't think they kiss.
Well, she's certainly allowing him to.
She
touch
puts her hand.
Well, there you
his
go.
hand on her heart.
Well, it ends up on her boob.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, the point I'm making is that they are now crossing the line, and
see, his hand slipped. It wasn't meant to be.
Well, still, and this could have been a clever way to stop the characters.
Oh, she actually. I think she accidentally turned it on.
Well, anyway.
Okay, sorry.
The point is that this could have been just a clever way to stop the characters from going into something that would have made them wrong, and we can't
get behind characters who are immoral.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or if you want to assign some of that, deeper thought to it, what they are experiencing, unlike this world of synthetic all around them, just like the plants, in the arboretum and all that, they're having a real, genuine connection.
Yeah.
And he was touching her not with himself, but with that piece of artificial technology that's on him. And that got between them. That wasn't natural. It needed to be natural, But it's probably the first thing.
Yeah, okay.
You asked, man.
Yeah, I know, but you just like, well, that's probably the first thing. You're just like, yeah.
I really do. I really think it's the first thing.
Okay.
I need you to make love
I need you to make love to me.
It's. I know it's. I will. And then you're gonna when it, after he, finishes, that. Just that look on his face where he just sinks down, even further.
I need you to make love to me, Glenn. I need you to make love to me, Glenn. I need you to make love to me, Glenn. I need you to make love to me, Glenn. I need you to make love to me, Glenn. I need you to make love to me, Glenn.
Yeah. Yeah, he is at rock bottom. He just jerked off to an edited image of his ex-lover.
Things aren't going well for Glenn Terry. But then again, he does get a bright spot at the end of the movie.
He does.
Yeah. He kind of finally gets over Daniel. And this is when Dr. Bot
gets outed.
Yeah.
Hello? Searching voice database records.
Hello?
Welcome, Lieutenant Glenn Terry.
Actually, it's Captain now.
Updating file. You have, when he says to Misty, you have one child. How is your one child? Hilarious. How have things been on the ship for you? I'd like to talk about.
Just for the record.
He says, I have no problems inside of me. He's even in denial with the robot.
Yeah.
But he went to the therapist spot, so he must have something he wants to talk about.
I just need you people to know that I'm not being hesitant.
Hesitation often leads to revelation.
Duly noted.
I have noted it as well.
That would be the duly part. It's the two of us.
Correct. What are you thinking in the midst of this silence?
Actually, I was thinking about smoking.
Cigarettes contain carcinogens which may cause cancer in carbon-based life forms.
Right.
You are a carbon-based life form, therefore cigarettes may cause cancer inside you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I smoke? May I smoke here, please?
Perhaps you would like to try Valium.
Smoking is kind of my Valium, so honestly...
Do you think a mainstream audience could ever really enjoy something like this?
No.
Not at all?
No. This is.
It's too thought-provoking?
It's way too specific of a tone I mean,
because I was sitting back watching that scene as it played, and I was thinking about films that are specifically made for the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, like the most depressing thing you can have with a movie. Like,
sure.
It's just, you're going to get, it's basically like fast food. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Junk food, movies, it's basically satisfying in the moment, but it's complete vapor at the end, and I can't stand by that. I can't, I don't really endorse making all that. Why would anybody want to participate in it? Why would anybody want to go watch that stuff?
Yeah.
But they do in droves, and it seems like kind of sheep mentality. I'm sorry to put it that way, but it does. What?
You figured it out. I love it. Look at that look of
satisfaction on his face.
Yeah, it's he achieved something.
Finally, yeah, you're right.
And he
does.
feels good about it. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, well. He owns the moment, and he feels good about it.
For the first time
in a long time.
Yeah.
He's just going to enjoy.
He's just gonna enjoy this moment, smoking that cigarette. What was I talking about? No? Okay. I guess that thought's over.
Well, you were talking about Glenn.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I like that the Dr. Bot dressed up for the occasion, though.
You're gonna make us late for the party. Where were you?
I was just finishing up some business.
See, this is we're coming to that Christmas party. This is the culmination of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's what I was, you know, yeah, a lot of drinking and smoking again. But, you know, again, you know, that's when I try to describe this movie to people. Oh, I've forgotten about this shot. When I try to describe this movie to people, and you know, I tried to tell them what it's about. It's very difficult because it's.
That's what you were asking.
What?
If this is something a general audience.
Oh yeah, right. When I try to explain like what it's about, because there's not the plot is
there's not really.
It's basically
plot.
just like a day in the life of these
Yeah.
people, and they're crisscrossing of each
Yeah.
other, basically. Crisscross, basically, of each other and their lives, and their characters, their situations. You know.
I wouldn't say there's one overarching plot. There's little mini plots of a sort.
I guess you could say that, yeah, because you know, Liv Tyler has her, you know, looking.
She wants to move up.
She wants to move up. She finds Daniel's graphs. You know, she's exploring that.
The captain wants to move up. They want to get to Space Station 8. You know, there's little mini goals, but yes,
yeah,
no
not
overarching
really
plot.
story. No, nothing like that.
Like you said, it's just a day in their life.
Yeah, they're not like going to like Neptune to
No.
you know whatever, you know, and they have to stop off at 3 different places because they need Ecto-1 fuel for their engines or something. Nothing like that.
Okay, so this is what you're.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier.
Did she just take it out?
She closed the door.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that she did.
Doesn't she forget or something?
She just walks away. It's melting and she walks away.
This is really boring.
Glenn, Patrick Wilson looks so uncomfortable. He's just sitting there.
Let's play a game. Come on.
What kind of game do you want to play?
Okay. Everybody goes around and tells a secret.
Oh, I don't like secret games.
I mean, this is such an awkward.
Should this
scene.
movie have been called like Secrets and Lies? That's kind of what it is. You know, she's
Nah,
saying
I like the title.
I know. I'm just. You know,
I know
because it's laden with it. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah.
Yes, of course I wouldn't change the title. What are you talking about? Jeez.
No, honey, come on. I want to play. I love games, but maybe charades. You know, something we can all play.
She's also clueless. This woman, Donna.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't even know that Glenn is gay. She comes out in this scene. Do you remember?
She probably doesn't spend a lot of time with him.
Anybody who spends time with him for a moment would notice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. My secret is I have never had an orgasm.
Yeah.
He's like,
what?
Really is.
That's probably more his secret. Yeah.
That's what he has to offer. God, she's
vicious.
She wants nothing
to
but
hurt him. She wants to hurt him.
Hurt him so much.
And Ted has done nothing. And
well, she's watching him sit there and be happy with Liv Tyler.
That's
and she's
true.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That was her final straw right there.
That's fucked up too. It's messed up.
She could have handled.
She can't stand him being happy when she's miserable.
Yep.
You got something you want to say to me? You
God, he was ready to kick her ass.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's kind of taking her right to the edge there.
It's okay. She has a secret too.
See, this is what gives out that
Yeah.
information. So, can never really look at her in the same way. I always just assumed, yeah, she just couldn't have kids.
Let's not play this game anymore because it's
I
really
know why
not
you want
funny.
to stop this game.
You know why? Because I don't like you. That's my secret.
That's not a secret. I don't like you either.
Shut up, Misty.
Ted,
Okay.
Now, Ted, now, honestly, that is no way to talk to a lady.
Yeah, you would know.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Does anyone ever wonder why she always has to act like a man?
Hey, stop. Let's stop now.
You know, why she's always up on the bridge,
Stop.
acting like a man.
I would like to know.
Drop this right now because it's really not funny.
Maybe it's because she's not a real woman. Oh, maybe she's not a real woman because she's
Right there. She said maybe she's not a real woman because she doesn't have.
I thought she said because she can't have.
Is that what she said? Because she can't have children.
Honestly, we're gonna have to go back to here.
Maybe we're going in the
Too
wrong
far?
direction. I don't know.
I don't care if it's the main room, main bridge, rec room, playroom, toilet room. It's my business. I don't care if it's irrigation duct level number fucking 7. Your attitude since you've showed up here has been to tell me what to do and how to do it with a chip on your shoulder. Why can't you just be a woman?
Why can't you just be a man?
What does that mean?
Excuse me, forgive me, sir, but you are the last person that I would think would be demanding that we should stick to conventions, sir.
I have no idea what
See,
you're
there you go. I mean, she called him out on his masculinity.
You are a gay man, and we all know it.
He's what? I mean, she seemed to kind of endorse the idea of masculine, feminine stereotypes right there.
Yeah, I don't know. That part does kind of throw me.
Like that. That's
Why can't you just be a man? When she's accused of being a man, you know, it's just a little. I don't know.
Maybe that just was not the best line for her to say.
Possibly not.
He will tell you. I promise.
I only stay with you because of Sunshine.
I know.
Do you know that?
No, he says, I know.
I know that.
There's no remorse in her face.
God, she's
I know, it's so
'Cause
sad.
She's got nothing but her own pain.
It's selfish, completely.
I thought the staging of this was really good. That rock, the way they kind of folded over the station and a little bloop at the end.
Yeah, I mean, all that build up to nothing, basically. It just, the only thing that's destroyed is the transport ship. And that's all their hopes and dreams.
Well, it's just their stuff. They can still go.
She's materialistic, man.
Oh, I
That's
know.
all her
I
stuff,
know.
man. Her hopes and dreams are shattered.
It's just things. Hell, they can take a little pot out there and collect most of it. if they're
Technically
quick.
speaking, yeah, I guess they could. I guess if you want to get into the metaphorical aspect of it again, you could see it differently, but why is he so aghast right there?
Who, the cat?
Ted. He
Oh.
looks a little.
I think that-
Okay, there's the dog completely defrosted. There, warning: keep frozen. Thawing will result in death.
I don't think she knew.
So did she just sit there? Because Sunshine's walking away right now.
I
Does
think
Sunshine,
she left it to defrost, but then went off to whatever.
Does she
she's
realize that the dog was dead and just
doing.
left?
I don't think so. I don't.
What was the dog supposed to be? Like her last hope or something?
A little bit.
She
yeah.
picks up her baby. I think that's what makes it redeemable, right here.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
human about her. She's like, my God, it was this close,
Yeah.
It makes you put things in perspective.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder what's coming up with Misty because I really can't remember.
I want to say she's just sitting in a dark room by herself.
You might be right. And he erases the tape.
Tape erase.
No, you're right. She does walk into a darkened room all by herself.
And she's got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine.
Do you think, I mean, if there was like a, she looks genuinely sad. I mean, do you think that, oh, they do share a moment together?
I thought they did.
Well, see, that's nice. That's something you can't pick up from just listening. That's something that you see. And
yeah.
There's hope for those two.
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
But with Misty, like I wonder, like if the story continued, what happened with her? Is there anything of redemption left in her? Because these two share a moment together. So, do you think she had any conscious thought, realization of what she had become at that point?
Misty?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
So all we can play off of is that expression that she had on her face, because that's the last shot she's in.
Maybe a little, but I don't think she's anywhere near ready to deal with her demons. Drink?
See, there's a little bit of glimmer of light there, and he's... You know?
Yeah, see, I knew there was a shot like
okay,
this.
there is another shot of her. I mean, is it like, do you remember that movie Ordinary People? The Mary Tyler Moore character?
It's been a long time.
Well, she was kind of like, she's like Misty. She's basically like the Misty character. And in the end, Mary Tyler Moore just leaves. She cannot make an emotional connection with anyone. And they try, but she just gives up and she leaves. And I wonder if like, are some people just incapable? Is it impossible?
She might be.
What
at
is
least
this?
Now.
Does this mean that she's free? I thought about what this meant, you know, because the one moment when we see her doing this is when she's happy with her dad.
Yeah.
And here she's alone. The dog has died. Her parents are separated. Everything has come apart.
I think.
And these shooting stars, this is all their stuff burning up. What is happening? And she smiles. So is she finally? What did I mean?
Okay, maybe.
Okay,
because she was looking for happiness in the gerbils, in the dog, in whatever. The dad gives her this moment of fun earlier in the movie with no gravity. Now she does it herself. Maybe she's learned to find happiness on her own and not depend on anyone or anything to do it.
Well, what about,
she's the master of her own fate now.
But the idea that the visual notion, the image of her just floating, no gravity. There's nothing holding her down. There's something there with that.
Well, I would say that's an extension of the thought, which is like you know, she's free of reliance on other people, which will let her be free. Because her reliance on her mother held her back. And I think she's free of that in her own way.
I don't think she ever had a reliance on her mom, though.
Well, she may not have realized it, but the mom made it that way. You know, the mom kept her so caged. And I think she's free, and somehow she knows.
Okay, I think I'm missing something here. I think there's this something I need to tie it all together. Because there's that realization on her face where I want to know what she was thinking in that moment, and I can't figure it out.
That's what I got.
Did she find her own utopia? Like Starship 8, did she find her own?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, well. Good movie, man. I love this movie. It's one of my...
Great.
It's definitely in my top 10 now. If I make a top 10 list, it'd probably be up in there, maybe at number 9 or 10 or something. But it's good. It's very... it's a slow burn. It's definitely not a fast-paced film.
No, sir.
But I find it very enjoyable as a whole, but also for its parts.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just so many good moments this little tiny moments, you know, with Captain Glenn, you know, Patrick Wilson, with the way he says things, his facial expressions, his, you know, where he drops the clock in the bath, you know, you might not think that's funny, but the way he does it, it comes off that way.
Oh, I know.
And all the other little things too, you know, that make it what it is. But also, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in there that on the surface you may not see. Anyway, what are your final thoughts on it, brother?
I will second what you said. I think it's a great movie with lots of great little moments. It's like life. It's a series of moments that add up to an experience. That's what this movie is to me.
I think that's what I think you stole that line from Life Stinks.
No.
Well, that's where I remember it from.
I'm not aware of it.
It paraphrased a little bit. I'm not quite. Anyway, there's another obscure movie. Okay.
Well then, I guess that wraps us up.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for listening. It's Josh. We're in the Soulless Minion Studios. We're saying good night. Thanks for listening.
Good night.